Hey, so there are some questions about Wednesday's assignment. So to go over Wednesday's portion of the notes, if we're given an image where we have a point on the outside of the circle and it's a secant line, which means it intersects two places on the circle. It cuts through the circle. Then we can set up this equation here where the whole line, so this whole line from A to C times by what's outside the circle from A to B is equal to this one's whole line times by what's outside the circle. And the example in the notes was this right here. So first we need the whole line. So our whole line here is 16 plus 26 to get our whole line. So 16 plus 26 times by what's outside the circle times by 16 equals our whole line. So we have 18 and x, 18 plus x, times by what's outside the circle, which is right here. Then we're going to look where we can do some math and combine. So these we can add what's in our parentheses. So we have 42 times 16. And here we're just going to distribute. So 18 times 18 gives me 324. 18 times x gives me plus x. And so now I'm going to do more math. What can I combine? I can do this multiplication here. So I'm left with 672 equals 324 plus 18. What can I combine now? Well, I've got two numbers. This is a variable. So I have a variable, a number, and a number. I'll do my algebra. Subtract here, those cancel. I get 348 equals 18x. Divide by 18 to get my x by itself. Do that on both sides. I get 19 and a third x. Okay. The second type of problem we could have is where we have one secant line, like above, where it cuts through the circle. So we have 2 points where it hits the circle. And one tangent line. This is only going to hit this outer corner and keep going. It's not going to go through the circle. So the formula there is our tangent line squared, so the length of AB squared, equals our whole line, this whole line, times what's on the outside, like we did above. So our example here, our tangent line, it touches once, keeps going, is 18. So 18 squared equals the whole line, which is 15 plus x. We want the whole thing, times by what's on the outside. And it's only this 15 on the outside. So now, do 18 times 18, we get 324. Distribute our above. So this 15 times 15 gives me 225. 15 times x gives me my plus 15x. And now do our algebra. We have a number, a variable. So let's combine our numbers. We'll subtract 225, those cancel. Subtract 225 to get 99. And then this drops down. So 99 equals 15x, divide by 15, we get x equals 6.6. So when we go into Mathopolis for the practice, we need to identify, are we looking at a problem that has two secant lines that cut through, where we're going to have the whole times a part equals the whole times a part, or are we going to have a tangent and then a secant where it's the tangent squared equals a whole times a part? So the first one on here, it cuts through twice, so that means I've got my whole line times a part equals my whole line times a part. So here, you want your whole line. Well, what's 6 plus 4? It's 10. So 10 times the outside 6, 10 times 6, equals the whole line here, 5 plus x times the outside, 5. So you'll have to distribute. But if you follow the example, it follows this top one. If I go to number 2, is the same thing. We have it where it cuts through the circle, So I can use my top example here. The next one, I'm so sorry for my children in the background. Again, it cuts through the circle, I'm going to be able to use my top formula up here. Mad, I need 1 minute, kiddo, and then I'll talk to you. This one cuts through the circle, right? So, again, you're going to use this top formula here. And this is one where we finally have a tangent. So it's not till number 5 that we get one with a tangent. And here, they swapped it. We have our tangent on the top here. They put the tangent on the bottom, but it still doesn't change. So your tangent here, y, is going to be y squared equals the whole thing, 14 plus 9, times by what's outside the circle, okay? You could even, if you wanted to draw it flipped over, but there's your tangent right there. So starting at number 5, you go and use the bottom example. Again, another one for 6. It hits through the tangent because it only touches once. We have a tangent line, and then we have our secant line that you've got. It hits once here, it hits twice here. You're going to use your second one. This one, it goes through 1, 2. It goes through 1, 2. It hits so that you're going back up to your top one. This one, this is our secant line. It intercepts the circle at A and intercepts the circle at B. But this line over here is a tangent. It only hits at T. It doesn't hit at a second place. So we're using our bottom line. This one, we have a tangent, hits it once. Bottom line hits it, goes through it twice. We're going to use our bottom one. And last one, number 10, we have, it goes through the circle twice, goes through the circle twice, so we're going to have to use our top example. I hope that helps. If you get stuck with a particular problem, take a screenshot and send me that problem. Have a good day.